Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. Today we are in the kitchen. For one thing, it's too cold to be outside. Really, it's not. It's just we feel that way because it's been in the 70s and now it's back down feeling like it should this time of year. And we were getting a little spoiled there with those warm days, as were some of the plants outside, because once again, my elderberry has decided to leaf out. And you know, they keep getting nipped back, and even my daffodils are blooming, and things think it's winter, and then they get told no, it's not. So we're in the kitchen today. I do have a recipe going on back here, but I'm not going to cover that recipe. I'm just going to tease you with it a little bit. This is Swiss steak. I've been slow cooking it today. It is now to the point it's just staying warm. It's on the warm setting. But this is a homemade Swiss steak, and it's made with homegrown beef and the homegrown vegetables from right here on our place. And that is a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, is how do we save money here on the homestead. How have we always saved money? Even before we moved to this place and had 3 boys at the house, what did we do to save money when it come to groceries? You know, that is that's one of my sticker shock things anymore, is when I go to the grocery store and I look at prices of meat and I look at produce, especially fruit, you know, because we want to eat healthier, and then you look at the prices and go, oh my gosh. So, you know, that is that's just one of those things that we have to look at ways that we can save money on what we need and sometimes just what we want in the kitchen. And I'm going to show you a few things that I picked up at the Benton Dent today, which that is just I guess, I'm not sure exactly what the term would be, but it's almost like a thrift store for groceries. It's a salvage grocery store that I go to. Love it. And I have to say, unfortunately for me, I've told a lot of people in the area about it, and now you can't hardly get in the door because it is so full. And we went in there today, and they've expanded and they've grown, and they keep adding stuff, including people. And so I go in there and it is so crowded because everybody's taking advantage of the prices. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the prices of just a few things that I picked up. Was it things I had to have? No, but it is things that I keep in the cabinet just in case there's company or we just decide we want something. And sometimes it's just a jumping off point for making meals or desserts. And if we have it on hand, we're saving money. We're not running to the store. We're not doing impulse buying of ready-made products that we're just grabbing up and taking home. So I'm going to show you a little bit of those today. But first of all, I want to show you some books. Now, if you're not a reader, don't run away. These are very helpful books, and I'm only going to show you 3. But they're books that I have used throughout the years to not only use today, but I have used them ever since my children were small. And they're still just as relevant now as they were back then. So let me show you what I have. All 3 of these books are ones that I either found at thrift stores, garage sales, and one of them I even found in the garbage. So let me show you what I've got. The first one is called Back to Basics. Now, you may remember this maybe on a bookshelf of your parents, grandparents, and it's an old Reader's Digest book. You know, Reader's Digest, I don't know, I guess they still do, but Reader's Digest have always put out some really good books. And this book, not this same book, but this title book was on my mama's shelf when I was growing up as a kid. And she, even though she knew all of these skills and passed along, I say all of these skills, a lot of these skills, and she passed on a lot of these skills to us, it still was something that is good. It's a good resource material, and just like it says, it's back to basics, and it's how to learn and enjoy traditional American skills. So sorry for that interruption, but I had to go let the dog in. She was knocking on the door. But anyway, this book here is just full of everything from how to choose land, how to lay out land, how to build on your land, make everything from outhouses to, smokehouses, and set up beehives, how to weave, how to cook. And it is full of all types of things. And one of those things is canning, how to put by food. And I have just bookshelves full of books on how to preserve your foods, how to sew, how to do all different types of skills, because you never know. You never know what may happen, and you need a skill. And sometimes my mind just slips and I can't remember. Now, how did we do that when I was a kid? So it's good resources to fall back on. But this book here covers a lot of different topics and puts them all in one place. I mean, it's brining, fermentation. Now, how did this save me money throughout the years? Just because every once in a while I may need to know how to make homemade cheese. Have you ever done that? Have you ever made farm cheese? It's good stuff, and it's not hard. You can do this. It is not hard. Making homemade drinks, and one of the things, here we go, using plants to make dye. These type of books here, they get passed over. I think I paid $1 at I believe it was a garage sale. I paid $1 for it because people look at that and it's like, what do I need to know that for? This is not the 1800s. It could be. It could be the 18. What if the power goes out permanently? Or what if you just want to learn how to do things yourself? There you go. But this is a book that I still use. I haven't pulled it out as much in a while, but now that I have it out, you know what? I'll be going back through it again, because as I'm flipping through it, I'm noticing, oh, here's where the information is on the proper pruning for my berry bushes, and oh, here is some stuff on my dairy goats, and on feeding your pond fish. It's full of all types of information. But Back to Basics is a big one. Now, this is the biggest one, and I about wore it out. I mean, I'll show you. Look at the pages on here. But as you can see, I still use this book. I've still got bookmarks in it, and I about wore this one out. And it is by Amy Decision, and this is the complete Tightwad Gazette. When it first came out as a set of 3 books, I believe. I believe it was 3. But this is all of them in one. And I tell you what, this lady, I'm not sure, but I think she's passed. If that's incorrect, let me know. But she may not be. And if you're not, Miss Amy, I'm so sorry. But But I love Amy Decision's books. They were so invaluable when my kids were little because she covers everything. It's pizza crust, how to make your own pizza crust. Now, of course, we can Google, but we didn't have Google when my kids were little. There wasn't Google when they were little, and so you had things like this. And she has formulas that break down the cost of making a mix yourself as opposed to buying a mix, about what's the cost difference. Now, of course, are the prices in this book going to be different than our current prices today? Absolutely. But the formulas are there. She gives you the formulas to figure out, how much is this compared to this, and how do we break it down, and you can still make this book as relevant today as it was 30 plus years ago when I was using it for kids. Because I don't just use it for kids. I still use this book. This book is where I got my recipe for laundry detergent and various things that I use around the house. I'm sorry, I had another interruption. We live here, and there's a lot of coming and goings with just 2 people and a dog. There is more coming and goings than you would figure, but welcome to our home. But back to this book. Tips for buying meat, tips for how to set up a shopping journal, keeping up with prices on when sales are going to be happening in various stores in your area. I used that one when the kids were little, and I really should set one up now, but the thing is I don't do a lot of shopping anymore, not grocery shopping. I do some. I call it filling in the holes. Because for the most part, the major stuff we raise and put by here on our place. So there's what I would call the large expense items we take care of ourselves. But we do a lot of, like I said, filling in the holes. And, this book, though, is, let me hold it up here so you can see. Amy Decision. And if you don't find the complete Tightwad Gazette in this great big giant book, that's okay. Look for it. There was, I think, 3 different editions that came out, 3 parts 1, 2, and 3 that came out. This is just all of them together. And I believe, don't hold me to this, but I believe I found this at a thrift store, and it was just, I think, $1 or $2. And when you can find this much information, this much wisdom that somebody has taken the time to break down and put all in one place, $1 or $2 is well worth the money. Now this last one is one that still is the favorite cookbook that I own. And this book, it come out, I'm wanting to say, let me look here. Let me flip back toward the front here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the little to somebody in the front of it was dated 1945. So this book came out right at the tail end of World War II. And it was found in the garbage. Somebody had threw it away. Or I say threw it away. That it was on its way. I saw it being tossed in the garbage, and I said, "Can I have this? Do you mind? Can I take this book?" And they're like, "Sure." It's, looks a little ratty, and, are you sure you want it? And it's like, Oh, yeah. And it's the American Woman's Cookbook. And like I said, it is worse for wear, but inside is just such a wealth of knowledge of early to mid-century recipes of, the 20th century back. And some of these recipes, I'm sure, go far, far back earlier than the 1900s. And I love it because it has all types of recipes using things that we still have access mostly to today, but people just don't think to use. There's just so many things that we don't, I guess we're just so used to the recipes that we have now or the things that we eat now that we don't even think of some of the combinations. And yes, I mean, look at this poor thing. But I'm telling you what, it is a wonderful book, and it begins out, even tells you how to use thermometers and how to reuse the fats and the grease and different temperatures of eggs. And it's just, well, let me just flip through here and read you some of these recipes. Here's some poultry and game recipes. Pigeon pie. Now, some of you are probably going, oh no, I've seen pigeons. I'm not eating pigeons. You'd eat pigeons if you were hungry. And, pigeons don't eat anything anywhere. If you own a chicken, you know what chickens eat. So, just putting that out there. Venison, that's deer meat. Yeah, and we eat deer meat. I raised 3 boys on deer meat. We'd starved if it hadn't been for deer. We're just so blessed that we lived in an area and had access to be able to fill up freezers with deer meat. So, and I grew up, here's all types of recipes for rabbit. I grew up eating rabbit. We raised beagles when I was a kid, and we done a lot of rabbit hunting. Rabbit and squirrel, we ate rabbit and squirrel. There's fish recipes in here. Uses for making chicken croquettes. Those little fried fish patties, mackerel patties, salmon patties, however you made them whenever y'all were growing up. If you did, doing the same thing here with chicken. And I'm just flipping through, and it's just so many wonderful recipes. Corn souffle, potato cakes. We eat potato cakes around here because I don't throw out, when you have a little bit of leftover mashed potatoes, we don't throw out those leftover. We make them in tater cakes, and I love tater cakes. I'd rather have them in potato cakes as I would have them in the original potatoes. Hot water sponge cake, applesauce spice cakes. Let's flip on past the desserts here, shall we? Well, they eat a lot of desserts back then. It's hard to flip on past them. But tarts, making different coffees, making different milk and egg dishes. You get back into the canning and preserving and jelly making portions of this. I mean, it even how to make chili sauces and tomato chutneys and chow chow. And do y'all remember eating chow chow? Even bouillon, and it goes on and on and on. But one of my favorite parts of this is, and they I guess whoever originally owned this cookbook probably did it like I do. I stick recipes and everything. But they had some insurance company, Anaco, American National Insurance Company out of Galveston, Texas. This was a recipe book, a little booklet that somebody's insurance company put out back then, and just had all kinds of old recipes in it. And they, I guess, must have liked it, and they just stuck it in here. And just some other Like here's some little blueberry oatmeal cookies on a little card, and here was Quaker Oats. Do y'all remember? I don't know, a lot of y'all are probably not old enough to remember, but do y'all remember when Quaker Oats, you know, when it came out in the tub, and inside of it would be a little cup. You know, it was like everything gave you stuff back then. It was like there was a little cup in it, just like there was always stuff in cereal. And me and my husband were having this conversation the other day about Cracker Jacks, about how Cracker Jacks always had good prizes. Now I don't know, he bought some Cracker Jacks the other day. First of all, they're not in the box anymore, and it's like, this ain't Cracker Jacks. It's supposed to be in a box. And then inside it was just a sticker. And you know, they've always had stickers in them. They'd have them little tattoo things you put on your hands, but the sticker just was kind of a blah sticker. And it's like, well, I'm kind of disappointed because, you know, I think, you know, in our day and age now that the sticker would be a little more fancy. Well, it was far from fancy. It was just a plain little old pitiful looking sticker. But anyway, this was out of, I'm sure, one of those Quaker Oats packages, and it's got a few little recipes like some cornmeal dressing and chili mush, and you know, some of the names of things that we've called things throughout the years leave a lot to be desired too, because mush, calling anything mush doesn't sound good, but you know, that's what we've always called it. Red eye gravy, cornmeal pancakes, but it also has a lot of stuff where you could order by saving up your points, because you got points for buying Quaker Oats, and you'd save up your points, and there was little order forms in this little book, and you could save up, and you could order stuff by saving up your points, and of course adding a few dollars with it. But you know, you could buy some pretty good, looks like some pretty good bakeware out of there. But you know, it also had the little recipes in it. So that those points and things remind me a lot of the green stamps, S&H green stamps. Oh my gosh, that was such a huge thing when I was a kid, and was another way that, excuse me, getting hiccups, was another way that, you know, we saved money and was able to buy things when I was a kid. But anyway, that is another treasure, I guess, that I have that I can use to save money around here. I've used a lot of things out of this old cookbook. If you'd like to see any recipes, if you'd like me to make any recipes out of this cookbook, if you'd let me know down in the comments below, maybe we'll pull something out of it one day. Tell me, you know, what are you leaning toward? Maybe not an exact recipe, but would you like to see a dessert? Would you like to see a main dish, a meat dish, a vegetable? You know, what would you like to see out of this cookbook? And if you have an opinion about that, let me know. But those 3 books are 3 of the resources that I have used and still use here at our home to save money around here and to use our own resources to survive and to thrive. So let me show you what I picked up today at the Benton Dent. And again, not a whole lot, not spectacular, but just a little bit of a peek of what I got today. I have got this stuff pulled over here close to me so I can show you just a few of the things that I picked out of what I have made some savings on today. Now again, this is things to fill in holes. We've got our meats and vegetables and all of that kind of stuff already here at the house. So don't get excited that, well, all you're showing us is a bunch of pre-processed junk food, you're not showing us real food. That's because my real foods is things that I do here and I put on our shelves. I don't usually get it at the stores. So I'm just showing you examples of the savings that you can make. Believe me, this store that I'm talking about today have all types of meats. They've got vegetables. They've got canned fruits. Just about anything that you want. They've got it there on the shelf at extreme markdown prices. So this is just an example to show you. Get out there, look in your area. I've told you this before. Look in your area for these top stores because there are going to be salvage goods stores in your area. Now, of course, they differ from place to place as to what they have. I'm just blessed enough that ours has a really great selection. Now, let me show you what I've got. Let's just pick one. Now, of course, I can make cakes from scratch. Not a problem. I've done it before. However, for fast cakes, it does not hurt to have cake mixes on the shelves. And, you know, I don't usually care about a name of something, but Miss Dolly's cake mixes are pretty good. And so I've seen these Dolly Parton cake mixes. This one's vanilla and this one's banana. My husband loves banana. And so I picked up one of each today, and I paid 79 cents. See right there, 79 cents for each one of these, and I priced them at the normal store at $1.97. So, you know, considerable savings just on a couple of cake mixes. Of course, I'm not going to become a millionaire off of it, but, you know, if you do that enough, you will be saving money that can go toward, if you've got debt, paying off debt. So, you know, that's a good thing. Now, these are things I always look for. I love this store because they'll have things that I don't normally buy, but if it's interesting and I know I'll use it, don't just buy stuff because, hey, I've never seen this before, and then it sits on your shelf and it never gets used. These are things that I know I'll use. First of all, I like mustard. And I found these couple of containers of mustard. This is a creamy chipotle, and this is it's got a sticker right over the top of it, but this is a creamy dill pickle mustard spread. Now, these I paid 49 cents a piece for, and I looked at the price for these when I got home. I looked up to see how much they were. You know, these are French's. They're not some obscure something, which sometimes those obscure somethings are really good. But this is French's, so it's a brand I'm familiar with. I looked up the prices for these, and what's funny is the discrepancies in the prices. This one, the dill pickle one, I found it at $2.98 at the normal store. But this honey chipotle, I don't know if it's like some rare breed or something, but $5.49 was the cheapest, and it went up to like $8.99 for just a, how much is, that is a 12-ounce bottle of this. Now, I couldn't imagine paying $5.49, much less $8.99. So I paid $49. That was plenty. This will be good on some chicken. You know, using this as a base for a sauce for a chicken. And this is just going to be good on anything. Hamburgers, I love hamburgers with mustard and dill pickles. So putting your dill pickle mustard, hey, that's going to be some good stuff. And I also like it on bologna sandwiches. So there you go. Now, the next thing I've got here is dressings. Now, I use dressings for various things, and balsamic vinaigrettes I use for a lot of different things, but I love strawberry and raspberry balsamic vinaigrettes. And these I paid, let me see, 79 cents. Yeah, there it is. 79 cents for them, for both of these a piece. And the regular price for this, for the balsamic, is $3.59. I paid 79. The blue cheese, I love blue cheese. I love blue cheese about as much as most people love ranch, but normal price for that one was $2.74 if you bought it at a normal store, and I paid, of course, 79 cents. So, not bad savings. Now, my husband is a sugar cookie fan, and of course, you can make sugar cookies from scratch. They're not hard, but he kind of, every once in a while, will go, do we have one of those sugar cookie mixes? Because he kind of likes making his own. He figured out he could make his own sugar cookies, and so I found this mix. This is for soft baked cookies. It's Betty Crocker, and it is a full 16.8 ounce mix. And let's see, I paid 79 cents for it. Normal price $2.99. Not a bad savings. And he decides he has that hankering for some sweet cookies. There you go. He's got them. Now, I picked up some Lily's peanut butter baking chips. These will be good. These would be good stirred into oatmeal. They'll be good in cookies. They'd be good in cakes. That banana cake with peanut butter chips in it. And these are $1.79 a pound is what they are, the bulk price. And normal, if I could talk, that would help. Normal bulk price, $6.99. So, considerable savings. There goes those hiccups, excuse me. Considerable savings there, because I got over 2 pounds for less than what I would get 1 pound for. So, not bad. And then, of course, got to have my coffee. Found some Folgers here, and let me see what the normal price. The normal price on this Folgers for 25.9 ounces, $13.64 at my normal store, and I paid $7.99. So, lot of savings right there in just one tub of caffeinated goodness. So, that's it. That's the type of savings. Pretty much everything there was about half price or more in savings. Some of it was a lot of percentages off. I didn't figure percentages. You do your own percentage figuring. I didn't do that, but a lot of savings right there just in those items. Now, was any of that anything I had to have? Oh yeah, you betcha. This coffee is something, if not for my own safety, for everybody else's. So yes, the coffee was something I had to have. Everything else I could have left on a shelf, but it'll fill holes here, and they are good to use. Like I said, if you've got company, or if you just want to treat yourself, there you go. And that's how we save money, and we have things on hand, so we're not making those run to the store, because when you run to the store, unless you are that unicorn out there, that you are so unique that you're that one person in the world that can run in the store for one thing and come back out with that one thing only and not grab something else, even if that something else is not, it's just a drink, or something there at the, oh, I needed that. This keeps me from going into those places and doing any of that. I have it here. If I need to shop, the first place I shop is at home. Because guarantee you, if I think, I'm going to run to the store and get so-and-so, when I come out and come home, I'll open up the cabinet, and the first thing that falls on me will be, you got it, another one of those so-and-sos. Because you know, I didn't shop at home first. So I'll always check my cabinets first. I say that. That's not true. I don't always. But if I don't, I regret it because I'll have it. And I didn't need it. So, but then I'll just put the newest one in the back and use the one that I need to use. But I've got supper cooking back here. Supper's done. At least for the side. I haven't done the sides yet, but this Swiss steak is ready to go. It's just waiting on the mister who is out there changing oil as we speak in the truck. And I'll probably, when we're done with this video, I'll run out there and go check on him and see if he needs a hand. But supper's ready to go. All I've got to do on the Swiss steak is just thicken up the gravy a little bit. I am going to use my canned green tomatoes here. I'm going to fry them up, make fried green tomatoes. I think I'm going to go with the rice to go, because I've got some rice that's already made that I just need to heat up. And I think we'll have rice, and I think we'll have some leftover green beans, and that'll be supper tonight. I've got biscuits already made up. So yeah, I think that'll do it for supper. Oh, and let me show you one final thing as we go out the door. Here was a big savings on flour, self-rising flour. I almost bought some little bags, and then I noticed this 25-pound bag of flour for $5.99. Here's how much I saved. And y'all have a great day. I love y'all, and I hope you come back again real soon. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.